I don't know. I have spent most of the last 20 years looking for accommodation. So I saw one flat last week. Oh, it's stressful. That's what I'm saying at the moment. I don't have time. I don't have time because I have to go and do all this crazy stuff. I saw one flat last week, which was the nicest flat I have ever seen. Uh, the owner didn't want to rent it to me. No, no, no. I think that he didn't like the idea that I have children, and yet understandable at the same time. I agree that it's crazy, but I understand the craziness because I understand that there are people who don't have children and they don't understand because they don't have children. They don't. Yes, because they think that it is better for their flat if. Yes, yes. They think that children will make problems, and they're right. Children do a lot of crazy stuff. So, how can I describe this? Some people work in the zoo with animals, and some of these animals are a little bit wild and a little bit crazy and a little bit dangerous. So I would not like to work in the zoo and have the job of somebody working with tigers or gorillas or tarantulas. Yeah, yes. But for these other people, there's no danger and there's no problem. There's no real danger for them, and there's no problem because because they have experience. Exactly. These people don't have uh, experience, so they only know what other people similar to them know, which is nothing basically. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Now there are some problems related to children and accommodation. I mean, you can't really get children to be quiet or to stop running around or yeah, if someone is worried about who the person is going to be in the flat, then they shouldn't rent. They shouldn't rent the flat if they're worried about the person who's going to be in the flat. That's what I'm saying is that if they don't know the person, they shouldn't rent it to them. They should only rent to people that they know. Renting to people that you don't know is very risky because you're only doing it because you want the money. My perspective is that these people are bad judges of character. Now, this is a selfish and arrogant perspective, but it is a perspective. Because if they knew me, if they knew who I was, they would rent it to me instantly. Because I have never missed any payment on anything ever in my life. I've paid one or two things a little bit late, but I've always informed people in advance that the payment was going to be late. And and I've done this my whole life. So if they knew who I was, they would rent it to me straight away because I'm a perfect tenant. The fact that they don't rent it to me shows me that they are bad judges of character. the fact that they don't rent it to me, the fact that they will rent it to somebody else and not me, and risk the potential problem with somebody else that would not exist with me. I mean, that's crazy. But that's because they're bad judges of character. When they meet you, they must judge your character. They must decide good person or bad person.
So
Yeah. Well, that's just something you're not good at, right? if you can't judge people properly, then it's a skill you're not good at, and yeah, and some people don't have that skill. They
100%.
because one of the reasons why people don't have this skill is that they were overprotected as a child, because you can develop this skill if you are given an opportunity and possibility to develop this skill. And this skill is developed when you make decisions for yourself. When you have to judge people and judge the character and understand it and suffer the consequences of being a bad judge of character.